auntie. They were an uncle and auntie. My first impressions were when they came to the various locations where I was posted to fetch and me. They adapted very well to the situations. Some difficult areas they came as Agartala. So they were very popular with the commanding officer, very popular with the ladies. Any function, they would be specially called. The short stay they had with us was memorable. Uncle was very active. He used to play tennis with the officers, young officers. He used to go for brisk walks with them in most of the locations. The only place they didn't visit was Cochin, where I took my retirement. Very inflexible. That's what I know about both uncle and aunt. They were very inflexible in the sense they could adapt themselves to any situation. One small example I will give. My engagement with Felicita was held in Nagapatnam, where he was principal of the State Bank of India Training Institute. I couldn't go for the engagement in the last moment because of some expense. So there was no problem. They didn't want a change of date. It was my mother who put the ring on Felicita's finger. Last minute, I couldn't go. So that just wanted to tell you that both of them were very could adapt very well to situations, never rigid. But one thing they would not compromise was their religion, both. Then another thing which is very vivid in my memory is they would discipline the children. Felicita and I would discipline the children, but to a certain limit. They took it easy. But whenever they were there, they would discipline the children in the correct way, and their grandchildren loved them and had very many stories to tell about uncle, their Tata and Pat. That's how they were called. He used to take long walks, which would ultimately end in the portal of a church, and have long confabulations with the pastor, both in Agartala. There was a small little church. In the cathedral, when we were in Calcutta, in the cathedral in Delhi, and all other places. They could not shirk from adapting themselves to the particular situation present. He was a good tenor. Most of you would have heard him sing in the choir or during functions. Auntie was busy with her household chores. Even when they visited us in God-forsaken places, she was busy with her chores, and she would entertain people, our friends. Uncle also would entertain my colleagues very well, and they found it a pleasure. The commanding officer and others found it a pleasure to come home, even without invitation, just because uncle and auntie were there. The young officers were surprised by the agility of uncle. They were fairly old at that time also, but could stand any test. Maybe in brisk walks, he wouldn't get tired. The young officer might get tired. So that was the talk of the regiment, talk of the institute or the organization where I served. And auntie was very affable with everybody. And so these little things are very vivid in my memory. One thing I couldn't unravel till the very last was he called me Maple till the very last. The other son-in-laws were called by a name, such a name, Raja.
Respect.
So maybe I also didn't ask him why. He could be jovial, uncle could be serious, auntie could be serious, and very pleasant also. Two very interesting people whom we cannot forget, even with the passage of time. They are etched in my memory. Thank you.